Hey guys, let's talk about Revelation 8, and let's talk about also the black horse. There's a lot to be said here, and you know what? I walk in my door 20 minutes ago. I had no intention of making a video, but then, you know, I just wanted to hear it for myself. You know, just on YouTube as I'm doing, you know, my dishes and setting up my food. I put on Revelation 8, you know, to play it as I'm going along, and I hear it, and I want to hear more about Revelation. I want more about the first trumpet. Okay, the first, second, third trumpet. I wouldn't really speak about the fourth trumpet yet. I'm a breathless guy, so bear with me. I think you'll find this exciting. It's just like rush at me at once. I'm going to start off with this, though. I was going to make a prediction the other day of where the next flood would be. I am not kidding you. I'm not lying on it. Why would I do that? I don't believe in that. And I also don't believe in saying I predicted this and raising yourself. I don't believe in that, and I won't mention it again. But I saw a pattern, okay? I saw a pattern. First I saw, you know, Sin City get hit. I already knew Los Angeles was burned, or, you know, Hollywood and all those things. And I started to see a pattern emerge. So it was... what was it? It seemed to me, I do believe those are judgments from God. And he hit Sin City. He hit Hollywood. I forget the other one that I'm, don't worry about that. I was going to predict or even put in my description, but I never did. I was going to say, I bet Washington, D.C. is going to be hit next. Boom. Happened the next day. Just like that. Am I a prophet now? No, I'm just, I just see the patterns. And with that, I'm going to say the next thing. Because, I don't know, you know, like, you see so many things happening, and I have autism. I like patterns. I look at patterns and I say, and I think in my head, what are the places that God hates, that God would want to judge right now? And so I'll say this. I'm not saying this to prophesy. It's not like that. I'm not getting a word from God, just for fun. Although, you know, the destruction is not good, and the suffering, of course. These are judgments from God. I would say that California is going to get hit with something. I don't know what. It could be a flood. That is my next guess. The events that are happening are so precipitous, they're happening so quickly, and there are floods happening all over the world. But what I'm going to say next may really make you think. I didn't get this from anyone. I got it just when I was walking in the door, turned on Revelation 8, Trumpet 1, because I was listening something to it first, and it connected to it, which it was Yellowstone, okay? It was Yellowstone volcano, and it doesn't matter. Yellowstone, well, it would, I guess, if the United States was judged. But there's also Camp Flegrei, which looks like there's going to be an eruption there. They had a 4.5 earthquake. That's what it was. So when they said it was a 4.0, it was a 4.5. And I can't give you exact time. It was just within the last days, which means that magma is rising. They're very concerned about that. You don't hear that on the news. I know that scientists would love to talk about this on the news, but they don't, and no one's raising alarms, and that's what Revelation shows us people are going to be like. They're not going to repent. They're not going to... Let me take a sip. Guys, you're going to want to hear this. I'm sure you will. I didn't hear this from anyone. Let's look at, man, I can't do that now, can I? because if I flip the video, it will turn off. He filled his, so in the seventh seal, it's silence in heaven for half an hour, seal 7. And, he filled his censer with fire and threw it to the earth, right? Man, I need a Bible. I know I have one. In any case, oh man, I think I may need one. I can't take the chance in doing that. See if I have a Bible over here. I had one here, I know I did. There it is. It's probably small print though, and it is. Don't worry, I'll find this quick. I think you'll find this interesting. From what I see, from what I've learned, Apophis is going to strike the ocean. And I think there may, I know I'm saying Apophis is trumpet 1 to 4, because it sure looks like it. And as Tom Horn said, he said it'll, why the hail, fire, and blood? I believe I know why it could be the blood now, and it's not Apophis. Apophis is coming, but I believe there may be 2 events. There's a lot of talk about these super volcanoes, and it'd be like God, wouldn't it, to use something like that to take away in 1 hour. Yes, I do believe that Mystery Babylon is the United States. So let's go to Revelation 8. Sorry guys, just give me a second, I'm on it. And this is, what version is this? It has to be KJV. I don't know what this is. I wouldn't order anything but NKJV or KJV. No, man, that's Hebrew. Give me a second. I'm like, what the heck kind of version is this? There it is. Okay. Keep this in your minds. And when he opened the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about a space of half an hour. So there's indications that both supervolcanoes are active and they're finding new things. They're having earthquake swarms. But right now it's Camp Flagré that they're very worried about. When I say very, I mean very. There's 6 million people around there. And I saw the 7 angels stood before God, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came, pay attention, and stood at the altar having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense of the prayers of the saints ascended up before God out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer, filled it with, so listen, the angel took the censer, that's very small writing, filled it with fire on of the altar, and cast it to the earth. And listen to this, there was voices, thunder. So there's thunder, lightning, and an earthquake. That could be a volcano. There's lightning in it, number 1. And there can be thunder. So you see lightning in it, keep with me. And there's certainly an earthquake. And the 7, which had 7 angels which had 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. This is what I heard, and I just saw it in my mind. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mixed with blood. When Apophis, when this asteroid's coming through the sky, things are going to break off, and certainly there will be pieces big enough to cause damage. But I believe Apophis could be this one very well, but it's certainly number 3, trumpet 3. Stay with me. See, what's troubling me, and I've seen in other people in videos, what's the blood? What is the blood? So If there's lightning and earthquake, that could be a volcano. As the ash cloud, you see out the lightning. It happens a lot. I wouldn't say a lot, but it happens. There were voices, thundering, lightning, and an earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the... Okay, so was hail and fire mixed with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burned up, and all the grass was burned up. So there's the first one. And I think, would Apophis do that if it's thrown into the sea? It certainly doesn't sound like it to me. Does it to you? It's 1,400 by 1,200 feet. It weighs 30 million tons. I said billion. I got it wrong because of Google. So think about that. Would it really set that much off? I don't think it would. I think Trumpet 1 is a super volcano. And I'll tell you why, because it's mixed with blood. So remember, John's writing this as he's just human, man. John is just human. And I think people get that mixed up. What could it be? It could be lava. I just got that revelation when I came in, whether it's true or not. You're hearing so much about these super volcanoes, and you can't help the seismic activity. They're turning off the geological survey. I guess people are not going to be able to read satellite data any longer, starting on July 31st. Now, that's the United States, which is a major portion. They have all the satellites. Why are they doing that? Because they know something's happening. You don't think the governments of the world know something's happening? Almost every country's having a damn flood. And more. So let's read that once more. Sorry guys, I'm uncomfortable. The first angel sounded, Joel, a day of thick darkness, and the sun will be blocked. If that one's thrown into the sea, the Apophis, it could cause a reaction on the bottom of the ocean with a rock. It certainly could, but yeah, I think it's more likely if it's a super volcano. I think that much may be obvious. I think Trumpet 1 is a volcano, super volcano. All the other ones are going off. What's to say the other one's not going to go off? This is God. This isn't science, so don't look at science and say, oh, they say, right? Apophis, that's just another example. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire. So when it blows up, it looks like that, and then it drops everywhere, and it looks like blood. It's lava, man. That's a guess. That's my guess. That's what I saw it in my mind. The blood. I couldn't figure the blood part out, and it could be lava. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood. A third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. A third part of the ships were destroyed. Now, hitting the ocean, of course, could cause a massive 200-foot tsunami, maybe even probably bigger. So here's the third one, and there fell an asteroid, because if you look it up, a star is asteroid, from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, as it fell upon the third part of the rivers, upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. Is second and third the same thing? I don't know. A great mountain burning with fire cast into the sea. And then here's the other thing. And then there's and the wormwood, third part of the waters became wormwood when he died of the waters because they were made bitter. The fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun. Is this in order? Is this happening all at once? I think there's a volcano in there, and I think there's an asteroid in there. That's what I think. Are there two asteroids? The fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, third part of the moon, and the stars. So it's not going to hit the stars, it's just going to block it. It's going to be smoke, ash. And then the moon looks like blood. When you have fire smoke and you have ash smoke, it looks like black sackcloth. It turns to the sun into blood. Fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, the moon, the stars, so as not for a third to shine, and likewise the night. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with loud voice, Woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet, the three angels which are yet to sound. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. That went from chapter 8 to 9, going from 4th to 5th trumpet. Let me take a sip here. Just 2 seconds. Listen to what I've written down. I put a thing on my wall to measure these things, and you know what? I'm probably missing about 10. Just listen to me over here, okay? So, I heard that China and 20 other countries, this was July 17th, was going to stop Israel. 20 countries were going to come up against Israel. China was one of them. Then there was a 7.3 earthquake in Alaska. Then there was one in Russia shortly after, 7.0. Then there was, the Russia volcano, and it was bigger than Mount St. Helens, as they said. And there were also earthquakes with that. The Philippines flooded. Mount Campi Flagre, 4.5 earthquake. Very dangerous. Japan quakes. They have almost 2,000 earthquakes waiting for the big one. Las Vegas flood. New Mexico, China, huge hailstorms. There were 2 of them. Maryland flood. Washington, D.C. Do you hear this? That was July 17th, and I'm missing about 10. We're coming into heavy judgment. Heavy judgment, and it's not top news. I apologize if I read that revelation here a little. If it seemed off, it's because it's small and I'm just not well in this at this point. So when I take another look and I see this, there could be separate asteroids. There could be. But when I look at Trumpet 1, it certainly could be Apophis breaking up. But it's the blood that I see there. And I can't help the fact that there's so many people talking about supervolcanoes. And wouldn't that fit? Would it not fit in the end times? It's just a final judgment of America? I don't know. It looks like a setup to me. But you know what? Everything is fluid to me. I'm just watching and waiting for our Lord to come. I hope that interested you. I would look at Trumpet 1 again and ask yourself if that could be a super volcano. Because how many prophets said that besides Joel in Revelation, and that said that it's going to be a day of darkness? The sun and the moon and the stars and the color of the moon, or color of the moon. I meant to say moon before. I don't know if I said the sun would go red. Oh, I guess it does go red in the daytime. In any case, I just kind of feel hyperized because my abdomen. God bless, guys.